All right, what is up, Ramblin' Raiders listeners? Welcome back to the podcast for this special episode that we have. I'm extremely excited to have our guest on here, to talk about Texas Tech football, which is right around the corner, talk about the defensive side of the ball. And I know that we haven't quite, hinted at this interview a little bit, but we haven't told y'all who it is. And so you're watching now. I know a lot of our listeners are going to be really excited to hear from Marquis Muddy Waters. Before we get into it real quick, we're powered by Guns Up Nation, part of the Guns Up Nation podcast network. Y'all be sure to check out everything that they're doing. Also, if you could rate, review, subscribe. We're on Apple Pod, Spotify, all the major podcasting platforms. So if you could go drop us a rating or review on there, we'd really appreciate it. Our YouTube channel is Ramblin' Raiders Media. We're going to have a new interactive segment that's coming up. It's going to be every Wednesday night. And, if we have to switch it up, we'll let y'all know. But it's going to be previewing each and every game that Texas Tech's getting ready to play. We're going to run through a little breakdown of the other team, kind of talk some X's and O's and, who's playing well, what's going on. And so y'all get ready for the rip, which is going to be on our YouTube channel. Now, on this podcast, Marquis, I usually do, I say the first name, I come up with a, kind of a hype name for them and then the last name. But for you, man, everybody already knows it, dude. It's Marquis Muddy Waters. Thanks for joining us, dude. How's it going?
Everything's going well, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For everybody, I think knows for the most part some of your story, Marquis. Transferred in from Duke, where you had a very successful career over there. Producing in the secondary for the Blue Devils and getting it done, and really started off 2021 extremely strong. Everybody was so pumped when you transferred in, and then season got cut short with the injury, and we'll kind of get into that here in a second. But a lot of people are just pumped to have you healthy, have you back, dude. I know kind of pre-pod here, you and I were just talking about y'all are in Lubbock getting geared up, man. What's the vibe like? Everything going well in the 806?
Everything's going great. I think it's a great vibe. It's a great connection. Like, we actually showing more of being a family and involved with each other. We all understand, like, everything is not about just us individually, but we learn how to fight for our brothers too, like people besides us. So, like, it's easy to, like, perform when you just focusing on yourself, but, like, it's a different grit and a different determination in a game time situation when you focusing on not failing your brothers on the field. So I think that's what the coach is doing a great job of, like, and putting into our system. And I think that's, like, everybody having a better understanding of it, which is helping us all get in the right direction.
That's awesome, man. Really putting an emphasis on the family, the camaraderie, kind of that team unit. And I was going to follow up, but you kind of alluded to it right there at the end. So is that just the coaching staff, Coach McGuire and everybody else on staff really kind of enforcing that mantra for y'all?
Yes, they're not allowing us to. I think what's making everything so different, they're not allowing us to be just average. Like, by challenging us every day with the workouts, like, every workout is challenging. Like, whether it's conditioning or weight room, you're going to be challenged every day. You got to come in with a mindset, we're going to be challenged every day. And with the mindset the coaches have is like, hey, who cares? Like, hey, at the end of the day, we gotta work. So we can complain. We cutting all the complaints down. Everybody just coming in working, man. And them building that mentality, like a who cares mentality, like F it, like, let's work. Like, it's getting everybody on board, and everybody's like, okay, we buying into the situation, and everybody, like, energy they bring every single day, the energy they bring is what's keeping us all together. It's, like, making us, like, be great for each other. Like, we all, whether somebody maxing out or half the whole team will go watch a person lift a lot of weight. Like we'll all migrate that way to watch them and encourage them. Like, it's just energy, man. And I think it's going in the right direction. Along with
man, I know as a diehard Tech fan, I've been a Tech fan my whole life. I love to hear that. And I'm sure a lot, all of our followers and listeners are going to be excited to hear that as well. And I feel like you can kind of see it, man. Honestly, there's just a different kind of, vibe and something in the air whenever, Big 12 Media Days rolled around. Some of the promo videos that, Texas Tech football, social media and stuff's putting out there. You just kind of get this sense that, hey, man, this is a group of guys that have really rallied behind this program, this team, and it's a bunch of individuals coming together for that collective greater good. And I'm excited that the coaching staff's enforced that with y'all. And like I said, you can feel it, man. It's something, there's just something kind of different in the air right now when it comes to this program and the excitement that's being generated around it. So that's awesome to hear, man. And so now I kind of want to get into it. Our sit down with Marquis Muddy Waters here, talking a little bit. We're going to start off on kind of some personal stuff, and then nothing too personal, but and then get into the football breakdown, sort of some questions that our audience has been asking us to relay to you. But on I talked about it a second ago earlier, man. Last season, you come out just out of the gate hot, dude. I mean, Houston game. Oh God, I'm already blanking. Who Stephen? No, it wasn't Stephen F. Who was the second game that year? Was that Sam Houston last year? I'll have to go look it up. But yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was Sam, and just those first 3 games, man. I mean, you had that pick 6. You were flying around, getting in the backfield, just breaking up passes, and then UT game rolls around, and that game really gutted last year's team. Losing our QB1, right? Tyler went down as well. And so as you kind of went through the rehab process and you're looking to 2022, like I said, fans were gutted for you last year, man. How are you feeling headed into this college football season? I mean, what was that kind of rehab process like, and how are you doing now?
I'm feeling, honestly, my body's feeling great. Like, I've fully recovered 100%, actually gotten 10 times better than I was strength-wise last year. So I think as far as the injury goes, like, that's going to be an issue because, like, at first during the spring, I was limited at first, but I had a discussion and where I wanted to go live. Like, it was a choice of mine, but it wasn't necessarily a choice, but I talked and they let me go live so I can show. I wanted to see for myself, like, hey, am I ready? But I was. So, like, me making that decision and, like, going through with it and having a successful spring is what helped me realize, okay, I moved to the next step. I can work on my strength again and just, like, go from there. Yeah. So I think that was a big part of what was going on as well.
Good, man. Well, yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And Nick and I, a long time ago, we have a segment on our podcast called the Matador Motivational, where we sort of talk about, highlight people's comeback stories or just charitable events going on in Lubbock. And one of them was tailored around the idea of the comeback is always greater than the setback, right? You have that setback, but you come back 10 times stronger, man. It's just something you put your mind to it, and that work ethic that it takes to for that kind of recovery journey, right? It's always strong. That comeback's always that much better. And we've seen it happen with guys in the program before that got, banged up one season, came back 10 times stronger, man. And so stronger. And so, I know Red Raider Nation's excited to have you back healthy and pulling for you. And it's good to hear that your body and everything, I mean, you're feeling good about it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I can't wait to be back, to be honest.
I was joking around in our group chat earlier with the podcast with Nick and Lane. This is like that dead period, man, where you get sort of, midway through July and you look around the corner, you still got a month left. And then you're ready to go. And I know everybody's itching. I can't imagine. I know y'all are itching more than anything, man, but it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be a good year.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
So another question I had for you, Marquis, on here is what will your role be in the secondary kind of this season? Like I said, with football season right around the corner, man, and as the fans are getting ready for this Joey McGuire era, kind of what do you think your primary role is going to be in this defense? And also, what's the vibe like right now on that side of the ball, man? Kind of just talk us through how the defense is looking right now.
Defense, I mean, I think the spring, it was a little cupcake, so we didn't show too much, but it kind of showcased, like, from basic plays, it kind of showcased a little bit of our talents, but I think defensively, we're going to be relentless. Like, I think people don't really understand what is about to happen, but, like, it's only, you can't really talk too much.
Yeah.
It'd be better to show it, so I ain't going to speak too much on defense. I think the whole team is locked in, but I think the defense for sure, like, we got things up our sleeve. And as far as my role being played, right now, like, I'm like a hybrid. So, like, I'm a safety, obviously, but it's like safety corner, a little bit of linebacker. So it's like that nickelback position where, following the slots, on the slots, and just, like, getting in blitzes. It's just a bunch of different schemes for me. Like, it's like to showcase all of my talents, going to high safety, rolling. Sometimes I might go corner, depending on who the matchups are. So it's just like coaches are the thing about this staff. They're allowing me to use my versatility, which is like gonna be big this season for me and for as well.
Well, I love to hear that because I feel like in the past, at least, and I'm talking, like I said, I've been a fan for a long time, but sometimes you see, defensive staffs kind of, I don't want to say isolate, but really, put a guy in one position only, and then it'll be maybe a year later or even midway through the season, switch him to another spot, and he starts kind of excelling there. And it's just, like you said, having that mobility, right, to showcase your skills and kind of move around the field. I know that's a big deal. And the thing that Tech fans, I know our followers are going to be excited about is you saying it doesn't matter, like you said, safety, corner, that that nickelback spot, linebacker, you're going to be flying around all over the place. And that's what people want to, that's what they're excited about, man, is that you're going to be on the field. And it's good to know though, that there's going to be a little bit more kind of fluidity and adaptability on the defensive side. Especially,
yes, thanks to our coaches. They're good at looking at game plans and just trying people at different things. And like, they understand for the spring, they understand every player's strengths from like seeing it. So our coaches do a good job of like game planning. Personally, from what I've been seeing from spring, they do a good job of understanding and like compared to what team we're playing, certain different matchups and like moving players around from position to position. So it's not like all of us going to be the same position that game. It depends on who we playing or what they got going on. That's going to determine how we play them.
Love that. Love to hear that. Like I said, I you never want to stifle a guy with just one kind of, isolate him to one part of the field or in one role. I feel like when, like you said, you can showcase different abilities in a lot of different positions on the field. So that's exciting. On that note, let's talk a little bit for our followers who maybe don't know much about Coach. And if I say it's DeRuyter, right? DeRuyter.
Yeah.
Because anyone who listens to us regularly knows I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I botch a lot of them, so I always got to double check. But Coach, new defensive coordinator, Coach DeRuyter came from Oregon, right? Prestigious program, definitely performed and competed at the highest level in some of the biggest stages in the game, right, for college football. What can you say just about Coach DeRuyter? And I know some of our Twitter followers were asking us about this, wanted us to kind of air it on the pod. Just kind of coach he is, kind of guy he is, just just a general sort of overview of Coach DeRuyter and his mentality.
So Coach DeRuyter, Coach DeRuyter a good dude. Like he breaks down like he loves the game. So like he likes to meet with us. Like specifically speaking, he's a DC, but whenever he coaches positions, he coaches us stars. So we always go in the rooms with him, like the hybrids, and he breaks it down to us a lot. So I actually spend a lot of time with Coach DeRuyter. He's very funny. He has lots of jokes, but he does know how to like he simplifies what's going on to make it everybody, but while also coaching hard. Like he doesn't allow us to be average or like play down to what our strength is. Like his job, the way he operates is getting the best out of us. So even if we're doing reps right, he looks at what we're doing, what part of the rep we're not doing right. Like even if it's in a play, like, hey, you did this, you made the play, but we could do this better. Like that's the type of coach he is. He just like always looking out, always making sure everybody is doing the right thing. And like he is an energy guy. He likes to bring energy as well. So like if the energy is down, he's going to announce that it's down. Like, he just has to have like up tempo. He wants us to be efficient, relentless, and just the brand, man. Just play with red dollars. That's pretty much it.
I love it, man. Just keeping everybody accountable and kind of keeping those energy levels high, which is so important during such a long season, that y'all endure every year and that y'all are going through. So would you say another question I know was out there, kind of day to day, how has this new defensive coaching staff, and feel free to elaborate on any of the other position guys that you'd like to, but how has this new defensive coaching staff sort of changed up y'all's approach maybe in the offseason, or is there anything that they've done a little bit differently week to week that you've noticed? I know this is your second year at Tech, but just kind of between staffs, is there any sort of breakdown that they do differently or approach maybe?
I would say they break it down more. So all the players are like, they understand better, and it makes them want to operate. Like I said, both coaching staffs had great energy. Like as far as energy, but with this staff, they just break down everything. They break down everything. They make sure we have time and meetings, and it's not just about going when they're assigned times. They want you to come in when you have free time, so you can understand, voluntarily come in so that you can pick up other defense and they can explain more. They love to have us in the meetings with them so they could explain more to us and just have us doing better on the field. So a couple of players like me, we like to go in after practice when the coaches break down the film, we like to watch the film with the coaches so we'll understand what's going wrong. And that's what is the difference. It's like a different determination. That's what I was saying. Everybody's bought in. I seen Bro over the spring just performing way better than I've seen them do in the past. Because everybody bought in. They know what's coming and they understand what we need to do to get things accomplished, goals accomplished, and wake people up. So
I like it, man. That kind of intentionality aspect of it, right? Just really intentional with everything that y'all are doing and looking at, and that's exciting. I can't wait to see the product on the field. And on that note, are there any differences Texas Tech fans can expect as far as and this is when it comes to what we do, sort of breaking down stuff, right? Y'all are on a higher level than that. So from a general perspective, sort of schemes and play calling on defense, is there any sort of different looks that our fans can expect this year compared to last?
We're going to most definitely. I mean, it's going to be a lot of differences. I think I could just say, to keep it simple, we're going to get after that quarterback.
Okay.
We're going to get after that quarterback in different ways. Different ways.
Yeah. Mixing it up. That's really refreshing to hear, because I think one of the biggest, just from my interactions with a lot of Texas Tech fans through Ramblin' Raiders, one of the biggest kind of concerns and areas of frustration, I think maybe last year and even the year before that was too much time for the QB, right? Just not, our secondary seemed like they had great coverage for X amount of time, right? But if you let a guy sit back there in the pocket all day, eventually someone's going to be able to get open. And so I know, and I try not to get too into. I leave that to the coaches, right? Who are getting paid to do it, too into the schemes. But sometimes the 3 down front, or on 3rd down, 3rd and long, not bringing a guy to kind of get home on that QB. So I know that's something that our fan base was really dialed in on and sort of frustrated with. So that's, again, man, just a great thing to hear that you guys are really focusing on that aspect of the defense, right? Is getting to the quarterback and making sure somebody's there to try to get home.
That in disguises, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Love to hear it, man. I know a lot of people are going to be really pumped to hear that. So let's kind of move past that a little bit. What are, in your opinion, y'all's main strengths on the defensive side of the ball this year? What, when Tech fans think Tech defense, what are kind of y'all's key strengths over there?
Our ability to get to the ball. I think, it's easy to name position groups. I really think we strong in all position groups, specifically from practice, especially our secondary. Obviously, I play secondary, so I'm going to announce that secondary is a key contributor. We have a legit 2 to 3 deep on the secondary. Even with the younger guys that people haven't seen in the past, I feel like when they get opportunities, people gonna be able to see them showcase their skill sets. I think they all bought along as well, and I think they're good enough to play a lot of the younger guys, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So depth shouldn't be an issue defensively. I think we have a lot of depth and a lot of good talent to back up good talent. So that's gonna be that. But as far as I just think everybody's ability to run to the ball, that's gonna be the way we swarm the ball as defense.
Yeah.
It's gonna catch all the fans' attention because it's gonna be okay, they're playing with some tenacity on that field and relentlessness.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some historically good defenses, right? I mean, it's just flying around to the ball, right? It's like you got hats on. Anytime a guy passes that line of scrimmage, gang tackling, just it's people are flying around, and that's really good to hear.
And the biggest thing I would say is take 3. I think everybody heard of it, take 3 movement, where we arc on turnovers. And this spring, I think defensively we showed a lot of that. Even in the spring, I think we just showed a lot of it. So I think that's a bigger thing too. Both programs, don't get me wrong, talked about takeaways, but the way we harp on it and the way we practice it to the extent is what's going to definitely show up. It should show up on game day if we can execute how we're supposed to.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And this actually went on the outline, but are y'all bringing back? I don't know if it's a surprise or something. Then by all means, we'll wait for game one. But are y'all bringing back the pump jack, man, like the turnover? Or
Hey,
hey, you don't know? Okay,
not,
we'll just.
yeah, like,
I was. I know that was man, that energy that Coach Cumby brought with the pump jack last year was so much fun. And yeah, I won't dig any deeper on that, but I know that'd be cool to see. I know a lot of fans would be happy about that. Yeah, and so you kind of just touched on this a little bit when you were saying, talking about younger guys, but let's say to some of our Tech fans who aren't, as up to date with our roster, right? They haven't been able to go through and kind of pick apart, who's, position or who's starting and then who's, second, third on that depth chart. Who are some names to watch out for? And it can be starters, it can be younger guys, anybody, but who are some names for you to watch out for? I mean, I know one guy who was already on everybody's, on everybody's mind and everybody's short list was Tyree Wilson, man. And then I don't know if you saw that picture that kind of went viral. Yeah, I was gonna say that went viral of him posted up at Big 12 Media Days, man. I mean, I know if I'm a quarterback on another team seeing that, like I'm gonna be thinking twice, man, on my blind side if he's coming up that way.
I was a quarterback, I'd do the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's just impressive. Yeah.
It is. From I mean, a lot of the players already like known, I guess, like Krishan is a baller. He's gonna has to do Deidre and Taylor Demerson. My partner in crime back there, I said him and Reggie, they're gonna do their things. I think Malik is a sleeper. Him and Fry and Rashad as well. Everybody knows those two, but I think Malik is one to watch out for, especially with his size, strength, and athleticism. People aren't going to expect him as much, but I think he's definitely one to watch out for. And as far as young guys go, I'll definitely say Kobe is a big part. And T.O., the transfer who came in, and Keon is buying in as well, who just bought in. Watts. You have a lot of players who can come in and contribute, as well as the linebackers. Jacob Rodriguez, that's one you might have to watch out for. Kosai is another big time. So we have a lot of players, but I think one of the biggest ones that like really showcase a lot of talent is Josiah Pierre off that edge at outside linebacker. Yeah. He's probably gonna be he's a
sleeper.
Yeah,
awesome.
He's a
well, I mean, yeah, that's another thing I think in the past, with injuries and things that have gone on, one concern is always depth. And it's not just with Tech, right? A lot of teams in the Big 12, I know, struggle when they can't keep guys healthy. And it's always a concern to coaching staff. So from what I'm hearing here, it sounds like we are very deep when it comes to that side of the ball and have a lot of guys. I mean, I love that you said a lot of guys that can come in and contribute. It's good to know. Awesome, man. Well, that I'm excited. I for a lot of reasons, and defense, with Texas Tech has had some ups and downs throughout the course as a lifelong fan. Kind of the course of Tech's history, at least in my fandom, early 2000s. And I'll be honest, I have not been this excited, man, about a Texas Tech defense. Just with everyone who we have coming back. Hearing what you're saying, I really do. I expect y'all's unit to really come out and do some great things this year. And I know a lot of fans are just really pumped, man, to see y'all play.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great season. I think we got a lot of store. Just got to stay the course. I mean, it was games last year. I think the bowl game definitely helped us bring a lot of momentum, and that just goes to show, like, when a lot of people are healthy, man, our team has enough talent and grit, skill set to compete with any team in the country. It's about being consistent. I think that's what the coaching staff we have now is doing good of making sure everybody stay consistent every day, make sure everybody come ready to work every day. So that, and on us not letting us fall off from time to time is what's going to help us consistent on Saturdays in front of everybody. So I think I'm looking forward to this season big time.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Great to hear. And moving forward on this, I want to kind of get back to just your story, Marquis, and sort of highlight you and your journey to Texas Tech. This is something that we enjoy doing on this podcast, whether it's just me and Nick, and even when Lane joins us, talking with athletes about how they got to Texas Tech, right? What was that path like? And so, again, sort of flipping back over to the more personal side of it, tell us a little bit about, where you're from originally, how long you've been playing football and sort of your process that led you to end up transferring to Texas Tech? And then even what were some of those main reasons for why you decided to transfer to Tech from Duke?
Okay, so yeah, I'm Marquis, what does everybody know? I'm from South Florida, a city called Delray Beach. Grew up there, played football since I was around the age of 5 or 6. Honestly, never missed a football game, knock on wood, in my career until last season. Since I've been playing at 6 years old, I never missed a game. Like,
I got you. I'm knocking all the way over here from Houston, man. I got you covered.
Yes, that was different for me, sitting out watching games. That was different. But graduated from Atlantic High, went to Duke, played 4 full seasons there, never redshirted. Used my COVID year to transfer to Texas Tech. The coach who recruited me at Duke, my senior year, he came to Tech. So when I hit the portal, it was an extra connection. Like, it was an extra connection between Mississippi State, Michigan State, and Tech. Those were my final 3 out of all the offers I had. And I chose Tech because of our connection. Like, he taught me a lot in my years.
Yeah.
He recruited, he understood me, so I knew he wouldn't steer me wrong, especially with Tech. And a big part of that was just leaving the ACC was tough. I had a lot of accolades and success in the ACC, but it was I wanted to look for something different. My thing being more versatile, I was so bought into the scheme at the ACC. It was teams understood what I was going to do. So I wanted to go to another system to where I could show more versatility and be able to potentially, even in this conference, try to catch more interceptions. That was a big thing too, just make more plays and play different competition. Because in ACC, I played a lot of SEC teams like Belmont, Clemson, Notre Dame twice, and then a different spectrum of teams, which was the Big 12. And I think it was just a better fit for me as far as showing versatility.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good to know. What's something maybe that surprised you about Texas Tech when you got on campus, started training? What's coming from Florida, right? Being a Florida guy, what was something that sort of surprised you about Lubbock, the community? It could be really anything, but just whenever you got to Tech.
I'll say I didn't expect when I heard West Texas. At first I don't know what part of Texas. When I heard West Texas, I was like, okay. On the drive here, I was just I'm looking, I'm like, yo, it's middle of nowhere. In my brain, I'm thinking it's gonna be really, really country out here. It's nothing. But when I got here and I see how much support and love the fans have for the team, and just how the city is, seeing different groups of people, seeing the party, how just seeing everything in Tech, I was like, okay, Tech is way
different.
The support and the love for the sport is crazy, yo. It's just super lit, and I enjoy every moment at Tech. To be honest, I legit enjoy every moment here.
Well, it kind of, this is one of those great debates, right, where everybody from other fan bases always want to jock on Lubbock and on Texas Tech, saying, it's it's out in the middle of nowhere. And I'll be honest, I grew up because I had family that went to Texas Tech, so I grew up in Galveston County, right? I'm by the ocean, and so my first trip out there, I was even sitting there going, all I'm seeing is windmills and tumbleweeds for miles as far as I can see. And it's dang, this is really, I was thinking the same thing, right? You're going out in the middle of the Dust Bowl. Then you get there and it really is, man. It always is annoying when people try to chime in and kind of frustrating, I think, for Tech fans. They try to chime in on, who would want to go play in Lubbock, who would want to be there. And it's unless you've been there and you've seen the culture and the camaraderie and the community, you can't make fun of it, man. It's just different.
Yeah, it is. You can't experience it by far.
And so it's it's always refreshing, man, when to hear our athletes talk about that. And I know you can meet a Tech fan anywhere in the world, and they're always, I miss Lubbock. I had so much fun out there, and it's just a good time, man. Good vibes, good time.
Absolutely,
things, man. Yeah, absolutely. No, in football season, I can't wait. Now even more so, man, with all these renovations that are going on, right? People are really investing, not just their time and energy, but financially they're investing into Texas Tech athletics. Big shout out to Dustin Womble and Cody Campbell and those guys and all of our Matador Club, the Matador Club people who participate and donate and are actively contributing to that. It's just like I said, I kind of mentioned earlier, but I have not been this excited. I don't think our fans have been this excited, man, in a long time about this program.
No, absolutely. We're working to not disappoint for sure. Best believe that.
Man, it's awesome. So what I know we talked about Coach DeRuiter. What has Coach McGuire been like? Since he stepped foot on campus, kind of what's his mantra? I had someone and I'll look that up here in a sec, but they were going to ask a question. They coached with him over at Cedar Hill back in high school and had a question. They were like, just ask him this and see what he says. I guess it's one of kind of his team building things, but just what has his like mentality been like, his presence, what has he really been able to kind of do in his not even first season yet, but just in his time at Tech so far?
Man, Coach McGuire been able to get everybody committed. Like his energy, like it's not just on social media. Like this is every day. Like, like he's energetic and he's like, but he knows like it's a balance of energeticness with seriousness. Like he knows how to get players committed, bought in. He knows how to just like get us all working to the right thing, telling us what we need to do to get to the next level. His biggest thing is just like working, like everybody, as far as the brand goes, him bringing that to the program was one of the biggest things because it's like it gets everybody involved. And the way his energy is and the way he explains and talks, we know he's not like, you could tell when somebody is like they're telling us stuff, but if they're truthful, you could tell how much he actually loves everybody. He shows the same respect for every single player on the team. Like no matter who you are, he shows the same respect, and he just like he expects nothing but the best for everybody. So like he calls you out, what he has to say, but he does make jokes and stuff too to make everybody feel like a family, which is what I think. Like I think like the social media shows aspects of it, and people think it's just like for social media. No, this is every day. Like he's like that guy.
Just like authentic with his passion and with his love for you guys and for the team. Well, I mean, I can't think of something that embodies like that West Texas, Texas Tech kind of mantra, better than that. And I know everyone, since his opening press conference that he had, right? Like he set the fan base on fire with just that, like you said, that kind of, it's like palpable energy that's contagious, man. I mean, if you're in the same room as that guy, I mean, you feel it. He brings that energy, that heat. So I can't wait, man. And so the question I was alluding to earlier from our guy Clark Dean, man, who used to knows Coach McGuire well, used to I think be an assistant with him over at Cedar Hill. He said, "What's number one?" That's what I would ask, man. Just see what they say compared to our Cedar Hill guys. What's number one?
Of the brand.
Yeah.
The brand is the hardest working, most toughest competitive team in the country, and it's like don't beat yourself. That's number one. Do not beat yourself. That's what it is.
Awesome, man. That's incredible. And most of these questions that everybody was asking, between differences of last year, I think a lot of this is going to be repetitive. So we covered most of it. One of the last things I want to ask before we get to the money round here is, man, as far as goals go, right? Like in life, before seasons start, we're always kind of setting goals. And like you said, not beating ourselves, trying not to get in our own way, but just having some aspirations and setting goals for ourselves. What would you say as a team, one thing y'all love to accomplish and just kind of a goal y'all set? What's something that when this was all said and done and we're in January, hopefully playing on the last Monday of the college football season, what's just something that you look back on and you think maybe, and it could be even for like y'all, just for the defense, for the team as a whole, for your secondary unit, what's just kind of maybe some goals or a goal that you hope to accomplish, man, as a team this year?
Honestly, personally, giving it all we got, like not being able to look back and say, man, we didn't come out. Like that's the worst thing when you watch the film and you realize like, yo, we did not play up to our standards. That's one of the biggest. Like, personally, I think we have a chance to take it all the way. I think we could win every game as long as we put ourselves in a mindset. Hey, we could beat this team. This team is playing us, but we're not holding nobody to no high pedestal. Everybody's even. Like as long as everybody even a playing field from the get go, and we understand that we could beat every team from the get go. that's what's going to put us above it and helps us win. I like to win. I don't like individual stats personally. I mean, I look at them from time to time, but it's not the biggest thing with me. The biggest thing with me is to win. Like just playing all we got. Stats come later. Whatever it takes to win, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And that's exactly, I think, what you want to hear out of a team leader, team captain like you, Marquis, is just win it all. Make sure we're winning as a team, right? Because that's at the end of the day, it's like individual performances are great, but it's all about that W or that L in the column, man.
On the column, that's what's going to get you the exposure and what to get looked at. So it's about winning. That's what it is.
Perfect, man. Well, dude, this has been fun. This is all. I think a lot of good insight to just our defensive, side of the ball this year, personnel, schemes, excitement, like you said, energy around the program, everything that's going on. So we're, I know I am, and the rest of Red Raider Nation really looking forward to a big year. It'll be a challenging year. I know, a lot of good teams on the schedule, right? But it is every year in the Big 12, nothing's easy. Nothing's guaranteed, but I have all the faith in the world that you guys are going to perform at a high level and do well, man. Now comes the really fun part. And this is, what Nick and I love doing, man, on all of our interviews that we have. Unfortunately, I was telling Marquis this before the pod, but Nick wasn't able to hop on tonight. He had a work thing going on. So I'll be, going through this, we switched it from the lightning round to the money round because it ended up being, the questions weren't as quick. They weren't like lightning. It wasn't fast. So we switched it up, man. But this is always just good to kind of get to know you better, for anybody, maybe future recruits or anyone listening who didn't go to Texas Tech or is, they're not as familiar with Lubbock. This is just kind of gives a little bit of an insight to the culture, to what's fun, all the great aspects and components of the 806. So we're going to start off with, and we usually keep these kind of in order each episode that we do them. But for you, Marquis, what's your favorite spot to chill on campus, man? If you're hanging out on campus, and it can be football, but if you just have some downtime, is there, what's your favorite spot on campus?
You might think I'm lying if I say this. I haven't really been on campus before. I'm a grad. I came in as a grad.
Oh, yeah.
I rarely been on campus. Like the only places I really been is the cash where all the athletes at. And I enjoy being there because it's food and athletes.
Yeah. That's funny. The cash is that's definitely the most popular answer, man. I mean, I got to go see it just one day. I just want to walk through it and check it out because everybody raves about it, man.
It's lit. I mean, all the athletes there, we all be talking, sitting down, connecting, eating food, chilling.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that though. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, because you come in as a grad student, right? Like you're not going to be, going to the same buildings as all those undergrad students are. So, how about off campus, man? What's your favorite place to kind of chill or unwind and decompress off campus?
Off campus, I like to if I ever go out, I like to go to. Sometimes I like to go to the pool, whether it's like Capstone Pool or Clouds, the little lounge. I like to go there and just chill.
Hanging out. Yeah, that's where my younger brother, who he gets on here, he's our quote unquote, we call him the hot take specialist because he's always just off the cuff, laying it down for everybody. But he lived his last year at Texas Tech. I went up and visited him one summer, and he lived at Capstone. And man, I swear, there wasn't a day he wasn't out there in the summer, dude. Every day it felt like Capstone was the spot. It's
always thick. Like there's not a day is not going to be less than 100 people probably there. Like it's always.
That's fun, man. Especially I know it's been hot down here in Houston. I'm sure it's been hot, super hot up there in Lubbock too, man.
Ridiculously hot.
Everybody stay hydrated. Yeah, that's a good place to do it, man. Capstone Cottages, hanging out there. So good place to chill off campus. Favorite place to eat, man. Favorite restaurant spot in Lubbock.
But recently, my favorite restaurant place has been well, honestly, I go to Chili's every day, like at least twice a week. But my favorite place to eat is probably 1,000 Degrees Pizza, the new place that was just built. It's really, really good. The wings are. I'm going to put that out there.
I'm gonna have to write that one down because so that's a new spot.
Yeah, it got built like last year when the NIL deals and stuff started coming out. It was just getting built in there. I don't even know what restaurants to explain this by, but it's not too far. It's not too far away.
1,000 Degree Pizza.
1,000-degree pizza. It's pretty
All
good.
right, man. I can get down on some pizza, dude. That's I'm gonna have to check that out whenever I come up there. Hopefully, we're looking at coming up maybe for the Baylor game this year. So I'll be sure to. I'm a big wings guy too, so that sounds right up my alley, man.
Best wings I can probably had. To be honest.
Now you said Chili's. I mean, are you the 2-for-1 special guy? Like you get the the three. Yeah, that's right. The trip, like you can get the appetizers and the
every chance I get, probably once or twice a week.
Man, I feel that, dude. I love it's like I always got the Texas egg rolls, the Southwest egg rolls, the sliders, and then some wings, dude. And for the price, you can't beat it, man.
You can't beat it.
I love that answer, man. Big Chili's fan. Okay, how about music, man? What's your kind of favorite? It can be like a genre of music, favorite artist, just anything, man. What do you? If you're on the bus, you're warming up, you're getting ready.
My teammates
listen to.
They pick on me about my music because I listen to a lot of South Florida like fast beats. It's like music, fast beats, kind of like our dance, the way we dance down in our culture. I listen to that. So sometimes I'll be messing with the team. I'll put it on the aux in the locker room and they be like, turn it off. But hey, I like Kodak. Kodak, like from the second. So like I like Kodak, but I like hip hop basically.
Nice, man. Well, man, you gotta tell them like it is what it is, dude. Like you gotta let them at least get one or two songs in there.
No,
but those days, that's something that people, man, like at whether it's high school, I'm sure they do in the pros too, college pros, like that fight over the aux in the locker room is always a big deal.
It is.
I love it, man. Okay, how about movies, man? You got a favorite movie you enjoy?
My favorite movie of all time is Gridiron Gang, to be honest. I don't know if you ever watched it, but it's great, man. You got The Rock. Really, for any of our listeners who haven't seen it, if you're just a movie fan, like entertainment purposes, or just like a sports fan, I mean, it is a awesome movie. Yeah, it's so good all the way around. That's a great call. I'm actually surprised no one said that before, as far as other interviews, but very good choice. Like those two is that hard. Those two is between those two.
Yeah. Oh, did you say the Longest Yard?
With Adam Sandler.
That one, yes, dude. Man, my wife, she's like the biggest Adam Sandler fan, man, and that's I always mess with her a little bit because I'm like, he's got some really good ones, and then he's got some kind of like, he puts one out on Netflix where you're like, Hubie Halloween, like what are you doing, dude? But that's one. Yeah, we both really enjoy The Longest Yard, man. You can't go wrong. Old Brucey, man. Got to keep Brucey away from that snap, dude. Okay, how about Marquis? How about favorite hobby outside of football, man? What do you enjoy doing when you're not playing ball?
Believe it or not, I like to play spades and chess. Those are my two things to do. Or a bowl. I like to bowl. So spades, chess, and bowl. Like those two things. Okay. Spades, chess, bowl, and pool. Like shoot pool. Like those are the 4 things I do consistently on a consistent basis.
That's awesome. Yeah, spades, like it's funny. I play a dominoes game called 42, and I've been told it's like spades, but I've never actually played spades. So I don't know, but I hear they're like kind of similar.
They probably are. I got to try out 42. I got to learn it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun domino game, and then man, pool's a good one too. Definitely some pool halls that you can explore, man, when you're out in the 806. Okay. And then chess, man. Are you on the chess app there? That I forgot what it's called. Oh, okay. You got a board?
Back. So me and the teammates at the cash, we go to the cash and we'll probably play chess like we play chess.
Chess is, dude, people sleep on chess. Chess is fun, man. I watched I played when I was younger, but then the Queen's Gambit. Have you ever seen that show on Netflix? Man, you got to watch it. It's really good, and it's all about like chess, throughout this girl's life. And I downloaded that app after I watched that show and started playing again. And I'll tell you what, it's addicting, man. Like you start playing a lot, it can,
Can't get rid of it once, because so it's fun once you learn it. That's really the thing. Once you learn how to play, it's like it's so fun of a game.
Yeah, like with all the strategy stuff. Yeah, man, for sure. Okay, last 2 here. We got this is always a good one. Any celebrity crush, man? If you could just one date with a celebrity, Who would it be?
Chloe Bailey, by far.
Hey, good, dude. Good answer and quick too, man. Most of the time we have people they can't
Hey,
they got to really think about it pretty far. But that was just right there, man. Right the
that
cup.
would be my answer for sure.
Good. We'll whenever we release the episode, I'll be sure to like tag her so she sees this, man. And then you'll hopefully get that date at some point.
Yeah, no, for real.
Okay, man. Last question here before we wrap it up. And this is always a good one that I enjoy, just talking kind of like we were earlier about Texas Tech, community, culture and everything. If there was one thing that you could tell to recruits, right, that are in high school or even transfers that were in the same situation that you were, right, similar shoes, what is one thing that you would tell someone interested in coming to play a sport at Texas Tech, kind of some advice or something that you would want to tell them about Texas Tech University and just Red Raider Nation and the culture here?
I would honestly say in our program, they get the best out of you. And not only that, you have a lot of fans and people to support you. It's not just you. Like, you have so much support and love that's going to help make you want to play better, not only for you, but like I said, not to fail everybody else. That would be the biggest, like, thing I'll like harp on, bro. The fan base here, the support, the love, everything is like top tier, man. You'll love it. You'll love it. Everything you need is in place. It's gonna be up to you. You work hard. They're gonna get the work out of you, but everything's gonna fall into place.
That's perfect, man. That's great advice, and I think, yeah, like you said it, man, an accurate description of just what it means to have that kind of West Texas tough mentality and that grit and getting the most out of yourself, but putting in the work to make sure you get it done. So, man, that was just a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get this one out there. I know our followers are really going to enjoy this. Marquis, Muddy Waters, getting ready, man, for this season. Great insight. We appreciate you coming on. Man, is there usually I always ask about social medias, your Twitter or Instagram or whatever you want to give out to our listeners so they can go give you a follow, man, on social media.
Yeah, Instagram is Mr.COP561, COP561. That stands for Mr. Change of Possession. I had that since high school. People used to call me that.
I love it.
My Twitter name is MD Waters 2139. So
okay. Awesome, man. Well, y'all be sure to go give Marquis a follow and keep up with everything that he's doing, everything that the Red Raiders are doing as we get ready for the 2022 season. It's going to be a fun one. A lot of exciting games on the schedule and just y'all heard it here, man. I mean, a lot of energy, a lot of depth, and just I know Red Raider Nation is really excited to get past this kind of dead summer period, man, and get ready to watch y'all lace them up and strap them up, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, guys, remember you can follow us. We're on Twitter at Ramblin' Raiders. Our Facebook page is Ramblin' Raiders Podcast, and then our Instagram is also at Ramblin' Raiders. We're all over social media. Supposedly, we're getting a TikTok. I got to talk to Nick about that. He's finally, we put it off long enough, but we're finally branching out into the TikTok world. So we'll let y'all know how that goes. YouTube, Ramblin' Raiders. Yeah, it's supposedly that's where it's at. Everyone keeps telling us. Yeah, TikTok, and then our YouTube channel, guys, Ramblin' Raiders Media, our new segment featuring Joe and hot takes with Laney Cakes. Y'all know Lane, the specialist. He's going to be talking Texas Tech football, breaking some games down. We're also going to be giving y'all kind of a look around other action across the country, from other conferences as well. And we're going to have some fun stuff attached to that live interactive segment. So y'all be able to ask questions live on that one. But with that said, man, Marquis, any final words, man? Anything else you got to say before you sign off?
Man, looking forward to the season. And thanks everybody thank y'all for having me specifically. Thanks for all the support.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, y'all stay tuned. Get ready for this season. And as always, man, keep your guns up. Ramble on.